Hello everyone, welcome to Astrological Sky. I'm Rod Chang. Today's podcast, I'm going to share you some information about the comet. You probably already heard about there will be two possible comet appear in the sky in April. So today's program, I'm going to share with you about information of these two comets and examine them from the astrologer's view. Okay, so let's begin. So the first I'm going to share with you is the information of these two comets. So the first, we have two comets. The first comet called C/2026 A1 maps. So this comet would be possible be very bright around the Easter holiday. Especially after Good Friday, the 4th of April, we are going to able to see this comet. Well, there is a but, okay? There is but, I will explain. So if we can see this comet could be very bright, even some astronomers thinking we may able to see it during the daytime. So let's expect this comet going to surprise us. So first, let's go to see this first comet around going to appear around the Easter holiday. We call it a C/2026 A1 called MAPS. Well, first, this comet belong to one particular group of comet. We call it a Kreutz Sungrazers. So this type of comet usually discover very late. Usually we discover it maybe 1 week before it can be seen, because these type of comet are usually very close to the sun. This time, we have discovered this comet nearly 3 months before we discovered this comet very early in January. And because this type of comet believed to belong to a particular group related to the fragment of the great comet 1106. And usually they are very, very, very close to the sun, so difficult to be seen in the beginning. Usually when astronomers see it, it already bright up the sky. So this time we discovered this comet 3 months before, and we are going to expect this comet to reach the perihelion on 4th of April. On the 4th of April, that's a Good Friday, okay? This comet will pass maybe like 162,000 kilometers from sun's surface, from the surface of the sun. So this is quite far, so it will not hit the sun, but would it survive? Because when you close to the sun, it's extra hot, extremely hot. So these comet can be, a break up and then disappear in the sky. So until now, we still don't know, are we going to see this comet around the Easter holiday or not? So this could be a surprise. Then we have to, tune in and waiting for the information around maybe 4th of April or 5th of April. Okay, it could be survive, and when it survive, we are able to see it. Okay, the first things I'm going to share with you is discovery chart. This comet called MAPS because it was discovered by a group of astronomers. These are 4 astronomers and put their name together, their family name together for the map, this word. Okay, so this is the reason why they call MAPS. It was been discovered on the 13th of January from Chile, using the remote telescope. It is very interesting. The day we discovered this comet, you can see the Jupiter is opposite only stellarium around the end, around the Capricorn. So it's very interesting. These comet maybe give us some map, some insight of future. Not only Jupiter suggests the future, also the moon opposite Uranus. Okay, so this is what the discovery chart tell us. The more interesting, we are going to study its route. Okay, so at this moment, these comets move around the Cetus constellation, and then on the 4th of April, it will do a U-turn when it approach the perihelion. It will turn back, okay, from Pisces constellation. I'm talking about constellation, okay, and then move away and then move to South Hemisphere. This map tells us that if you want to see this comet, if this comet is lucky enough, survivor after the perihelion, and we can see it from maybe 5th of April, or if we are lucky, from 4th of April. It's more likely to see it from the lower latitude or south hemisphere. This does not mean you cannot see it from North Hemisphere, okay? But if you are like me living in the higher altitude, like London or Berlin or Amsterdam, well, you must be very, very lucky to see this comet. Okay, even though, okay, I give you some tips. If you heard about this comet survive, what are you going to do? It's nearly sunset, going out, find where it has an empty place around the southwest area. This is for North Hemisphere, for people who are living in the North Hemisphere. So the comet will locate around the southwest hemisphere and around the horizon if you are in the higher latitude. You go to see toward to the southwest direction after sunset. You are going to see this comet, because if it survives, it will be very, 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 very bright. And for South Hemisphere, you have a lot of chance to see it. Now I'm going to do a very general interpretation for this comet. So let's go to see. Here I prepare some data for you. So the first, the discovered degree is at 13 degree Gemini. This is what I call the sensitive degree of comet. Because we have the data of discovery, and when it discovery comet was located at 13 degree Gemini. If any country or any person who has planet located in this degree would be very sensitive, and then you may channeling comet's energy to be surprised, to change your life environment, or to be very creative, okay? Or maybe comet will set you free from something, all right? So this is the 13 degree Gemini. And then if you remember early this year, we have lunar eclipse at 12, I think it's 12 degree Virgo. So, 12 degree Virgo, 13 degree Gemini. So it's probably going to hit anyone who have planet around the 12, 13 degree of mutable sign. All right, so this is my first suggestion. If you have any planet there, probably pay a little bit attention. And any country has the angle or planet around this degree, probably going to get influenced by comet and the lunar eclipse. On the 4th of April, its perihelion point is a 14 degree Aries. Well, this degree would become another sensitive degree. Any person or any country have planet at 14 degree Aries could be very sensitive too. All right, so on the 6th of April, comet will get very close to Earth. On this day, comet will be at 22 degree Aries. So this is so far what we know about this comet. Usually, the other sensitive degree is about when does comet cross the ecliptic and when does comet pass the celestial equator. But while we can see this comet, it's not going to pass the ecliptic and the celestial equator, so we can ignore it. Another thing I have to remind you is that everything I say today only valid if comet can be seen by naked eye. This is my own personal method. Okay, if you are interested in studying comet and you have your idea, you are very welcome to share with me. But this is my personal method, how I study comet. I only focus on comet when they can be seen by naked eye. All right. So from 4th of April to 8th of April, Comet is around the tropical zodiac Aries. And then from 8th of April to 21st of April, if we still can see this comet, it will be around Taurus. Okay, after 21st of April, Comet moved to Gemini and maybe we're going to disappear from our eyesight. So what does this tell us, this information? Well, comets appear around the Aries. It's kind of reinforce or kind of emphasize these things related to Aries about fire element, about heat, extreme heat weather, extremely hot weather, heat wave. Well, from a traditional view, it could be also war, slaughter, and some bloody, terrible things about the violence. But you may, like my dear friend, say, do we need a comet tell us that? We probably don't need a comet tell us the world is still, we are experiencing huge wars threatening us. However, when a comet appear, show you a sign. It just tell you, it may go beyond you can image. All right, the scale, the large scale, extreme large scale of the war or extreme heat that people couldn't cope, or those riots, those violence are going to scare us. All right, so this is worth us to pay attention, especially the comet moving through the early cardinal sign. That is kind of a very sensitive degree for us, okay? Well, and then when comet pass through Taurus, if they can, that means after 8th of April, if comet still can be seen by naked eye, then we need to pay attention about Taurus. That means not only economy, we know the stock market, how stock market performing at this moment. They still have a lot of people believe only way is up. I don't believe. I think for so many astrology configuration and our study suggests this year we are going to face a economic downturn. And that's a most gentle word, or I would say we are very likely to face the economic crisis like as powerful as during the COVID time or, the year 2000, those stock market cut nearly half or 1/3 at least, okay? So if comet still can be seen in Taurus, we should pay attention because Taurus is about the money, about the food, and we know the inflation is going up because the war, because the petrol and the gas has difficult to go through the Persian Gulf. Okay, so these words us pay extra attention about the money, price, and the food. Well. Another way to see this is about to check its constellation. Between 4th of April to 8th of April, comet move around the Pisces constellation. Let me show you the map. So in the beginning, here is a Pisces constellation, okay? So we can still relate it to Pisces sign, but most symbolically, we are thinking about ocean. We are thinking about ocean, river, water, okay? Then this area, symbol of this area is the bond, the belt linking two fish. So link, connection, bond together, bring things together are the key word of this comet. And then later, we have from 8th of April to 15th of April, comet moved toward to the Cetus constellation. Here is Cetus. Some people call it whale, or if you know like Greek mythology, this is sea monster, or really is the kraken. Okay, this is the kraken, sea monster, Cetus. What does this constellation means? I think Dr. Benedict Brady suggests this constellation are related to our deep unconsciousness, the deepest fear, deepest sorrow, and also deepest emotion. Usually when the comet or any planet configuration happen around this area, it's going to release the huge fear and make people collectively feel that kind of a powerful sensation of life, death, and everything connect together. We are going to experience a powerful emotion. These are usually happen when the huge disaster happen. So this is why I say this comet may, if we can see it, we may have to pay a huge attention about this comet, especially we know this comet called Kreutz Sungrazers. So it grazes the sun. Some leader of the country has to pay attention. Here is another technique that we are put comet's position in the new moon and full moon chart. So the closest syzygy, when we can see this comet, is the 2nd of April, the full moon. On this day, comet is at 20 degrees of Aries. Okay, so was set between Sun and the Chiron. Okay, for UK, I think is in 3rd house. So for UK could be the traffic, transport, and education. Okay, but see, you can see draw a full moon chart for your country and see where the 20-degree Aries it is. Okay, then you can see what's the comet's message for your country. And welcome to share with me here. But we can see as a sun-grazed comet, well, usually it is going to be super bright and very close to the sun. So the country leader should pay a lot of attention. And nevertheless, comets are always a sign of the death of great prince or the country leader. So it worth us to pay a little bit attention. Well, thank you for joining me today. And before I finish today, I want to remind you, and on the 25th of April, I'm going to talk about Chiron, how Chiron healing the collective heart, because Chiron is going to move sign in June, so move to Taurus. And this is the anniversary we discovered Chiron, 50 years. So this I'm going to review whole Chiron cycle and then to kind of learn from this cycle how Chiron healing our collective society. Thank you for watching today's podcast, Astrologer's Guide. Today, I focus on the comet that we may be likely going to see in April. As I say, that comet is always unpredictable. This is one characteristic of comet. And astronomers say comets are like a cat. It has tail and it go anywhere it like. So even though we are kind of a bit positive about we may be going to see bright comet in the sky in April. Kreutz Sungrazers appear around the Easter holiday, but the first condition is it has to survive when it goes too close to the sun. Then it would be a phenomenal astronomy show in the early of April around the Easter holiday. So stay in tune and I will keep you updated. Okay, bye bye.
按赞、订阅、分享，谢谢大家观看到最后。